Oh my goodness, crypto miner's worst nightmare. I was gonna live stream today, and I had my shelf collapse, and I lost 5 server cases were on it, and thankfully I was in the room when it collapsed, so I was able to power everything off really fast. And let this be a warning to you guys. I'll explain what I think happened. So first thing I wanted to do was get all the miners off the shelf. It is so hot in this room. Oh man. But I can work in it, thankfully. So basically, I don't have a full wooden board on the bottom shelf like I do on the other shelves, and I have just part wood and part wire, which I think is the reason it collapsed. I was basically moving them around to try to fit another server case, the final one of my PCSP cases for the expansion. And as you can see right here, there's four 2x6s, sorry, on these bottom shelves, and that's what's basically keeping those server cases steady, and I didn't have that on this one, and I think that was the problem. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take that shelf out, and I'm going to put them on the floor, and I'm going to test all these cases, so pray with me that they all work. All right, so here's the Virtue case I opened up. I got this from a buddy. Just looking at it, it looks like nothing moved. This one didn't move too far. I'm worried about that. I basically had to shut the miners off right away. I didn't try to power them down or slow them up. But short of the pollen, it looks fine. I'm gonna blow it out. This card wasn't running. It was behaving weird in the hot temperatures. I didn't really want to go into it. Maybe I will now. I think I'm just gonna seal this back up and run it. I think New Zealous will make it easier on this one. I'm gonna blow this off real quick while I have it open. But looking for any signs of damage, anything. Tell you what, these cases are secure. You can't fault people for using them. That's for certain. All right, we're gonna blow this off. Be right back. It looks like there's an issue with one of the rivets over here. I might have to drill that back in. I bought this with a dent in it when I got it from my buddy, who basically traded me a 3060 Ti for it, which I think was a very fair trade at the time. So we're gonna seal it. I don't think it'll be a problem, as this side is the one that's down. So let's get it back in and hope it works. This is one that I'm actually a little worried about. This one is an Octominer that I made myself. Interesting, that I made myself, and it looks like there's already corrosion on those fan grills. That's not good. Anyway, this was a guide on how to build a cheap server case with PSUs, and it's not in like a conventional server case. So let's just see. It looks like there was some movement. Now the good thing is they were wedged. They were wedged in between a bar. This is why you need those bars, and they're on risers, so the board didn't break, so that's good. Basically looks like nothing moved. Just jiggling stuff around. Everything is intact. I don't know if you can see that, but that is an EVGA fan blade. I jerry-rigged that one. All these were actually gifts from people, so I want to keep it mining if I can to thank them, and I certainly don't want it to break. So looks like it's good. We're going to turn this thing back on, seal this up. At the time, I still didn't think this was worth doing for the money you saved. Granted, this only cost me $100 because I used parts. I used basically spare parts, but now with the advent of the $230 PCSP cases, this is definitely not something I'd bother wasting my time with anymore. Here's the first of the 3 PCSP Octo miners. Nothing looks like it moved. Note that ever since I swapped to this 3060 Ti configuration, where I gave every GPU room to breathe out of, this thing has been up since with no downtime. I don't see any cables moved. Nothing is dangerous. Everything looks as it should be. Yeah, and note that I am powering this with 3 1200 watt power supplies in case I decide to triple mine with this thing. And there are 12. This is basically 12 of my last 14, and I'm probably going to get rid of one more. So I'll probably only have 13. And there's a bug that got caught in here. Yeah, that's gonna happen from time to time. So let's just seal this back up, and yeah, that's it. I hope this one works too. So if I was only smart enough to put one case next to the shelf, maybe these wouldn't have collapsed. But the first 3 are working, and I have 2 left to test, which is good. So I'm happy. That one is from another video that started this whole mess, and I'm not turning that on until Zealous forks. Let's go test the other 2, and let's. Now this one was heavy. Not much really to say about this one, except I wonder if I should swap that Founders over there for this Zotac to maybe give it room to breathe. I don't think it'll matter, honestly, but whoa, I'm hot. It's hot out. Everything looks fine. This one is heavy, and this one is heavier than the rest of them, it feels like, just because these are, I guess, larger GPUs. I don't know. I wonder if this was the one that caused the collapse. Again, this one is also running 3 power supplies in case I crank it. 12 3070s are running in here, and I have no problems other than I think this GPU gets a little too hot. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that unless I swap GPUs in another case, which honestly I'm good. It's not even getting that hot on super hot days, so I'm okay with it. So looks like nothing moved again. There's not much room for anything to move, but I wonder if this was the one that caused the problem because of how much heavier it is. So we're gonna blow it out and put it back in. So the 4th one is working. I might get out of this alive yet. I love server cases. As you can see, we're just popping these on the floor. I'm not messing with it anymore, with the shelf anyway. Let's go test the last one and hopefully it works. Here are the 170HXs. I have 5 with 2 more. Well, the return and another one coming. I'm only going to put 6 in this. We won't be hitting more than that. That's all I feel comfortable with. I'll put it right here, and then that'll be that. I've got 2 more 8 pins to power. Nothing moved. No damage. This bar's great. No complaints here. Now note that this was the original one I got. So it has the foam insert in the bar. I wish they all had that, but you know. So it has a little bit of dust and grime. We're gonna blow that out, and that's really it. Note that with the 170HXs, I would definitely recommend installing grills on the inside. All right, guys, seal this one back up and pray for me that this one works as well. So like I said before, that shelf failed, and I think the reason the other ones didn't is because they're the solid, stable plywood, and I only had max 4 server cases per shelf, which I don't think I will exceed that from now on. Yeah, so that shelf with wood over it was not the way to go, and I should have just placed that extra server case on the side, and I wouldn't have had an issue. But I'm glad I figured it out before it was too late. So long story short, don't put a ton of server cases on wire shelves. I am going to be replacing the rest of my open air frames with more PCSP octominers because there's no reason not to at this point. So I'm going to try to figure out whether or not I'm going to put them standing up on that top shelf or not. It's just something that I have to consider. But now I'm kind of spooked with putting too much weight on these things. So maybe I'll just put one right there and then maybe one on the floor next to the edge of the case on that side, or I'll figure something out. But anyway, guys, don't make the same mistake I did. Remember that even though these PCSP server cases are the size of X8s, they hold 12 GPUs if you decide to put 12 in them, which makes them weigh a lot more. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. I got lucky. Don't make the same mistake I did. I hope you enjoyed this video. Krootman